What's going on, everybody? Shout out DC, shout out the whole DMV. My name is Aerospace, and you tuning in to Smack Life TV, okay?
Bitch, caustic, leverage office so the war's not costing. Arms and legs off Edward Edge, transmutate, replace the dead. I tell with bread that stacks ahead and features pensive pledge. 40 acres in the pool, the mule can run the feds.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Aerospace. I was born in Tacoma Park, grew up in Southeast DC, and also in Atlanta, Maryland. Shout out PG. I make all types of music, you know what I'm saying? I grew up on Mahalia Jackson, but I make primarily hip-hop and occasionally like hardcore metal, punk rock. Got a lot of influences, ranging from, Tesseract, The Chariot, Rage Against the Machine to, Chopin even. I love music just all across. I play drums, have for 14 years, piano, produce as well. So, yeah, I just love art.
When did this love for the music start?
From when I remember, it was a little bit later into my toddler years. Like, my mother, rest in peace, she remembers it from when I was like maybe 3 or 4. I was like banging on shit, but but then yeah, it just kind of evolved from there. I took piano lessons a little bit. Then I kicked back off the piano and I jumped on drums. And then I hopped back off drums, started doing rap. And then the rap and then the singing came together. And even before that, I was doing the production. So it's like kind of like held the foundation, all that shit.
Everything was intertwined for
you. Yeah, I love music, bro. Music great.
Yeah. So you was taking piano lessons?
Yeah.
Okay.
I took them for a little bit at school.
Okay.
I moved back and forth like at the time. At the time when I was taking piano lessons, I was living in Baltimore. I lived out Baltimore for a year. Right off Cold Spring Lane. Shit was crazy.
By Morgan?
Nah. It was a school called Baltimore Junior Academy.
Okay.
It was I'm trying to see what was over there. There's a couple shops over there. There's a grocery store. I'm trying to figure out what the name of that joint was. It's like right by some train tracks and shit.
So you started with the piano, you moved to drums. All right, so your spectrum, your range of music, where that come from? Cause you, like you said, you rap and then you do the metal too. So like, how you and then your look, you got my man distinguished, nigga. You know, you with me? So like, where all that come from, bro?
It's just a lot of influence. Things you pick up on over time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll say a foundation of it is like, MF Doom, anime, like comic books and shit, like you'll see that and it's like, yo, that's real dope. You see the way niggas got their collars popped, they got their shit on. They like the fizz is always fresh and it's like, there's an imagination that was applied to it. So it's like, damn, how can you bring that in reality? Then you see Kanye was doing some of that shit and I'm like, oh, that shit possible.
Definitely.
Like, that a lot of my exposure as a kid was like to just all ranges of music. I still remember the first time I heard Jay-Z, I was like 7. Yeah, I remember that shit like it was yesterday, bro. I heard Hovey Baby. What year was that? I'm trying to think of what year that album came out. But it was in the 90s, Blueprint 2. This nigga, he said, I'm so far ahead of my time, I'm about to start another life. Look behind you, I'm about to pass you twice. Back to the future, gotta slow for my present, I'm past, cause niggas can't get past my past. So how to propose to deal with my perfect present? When I unwrap the given the curse in one session. Ain't no living person can test them, only 2 mentioned in heaven can be resting in the same breath as I'm like, nigga.
Crazy.
I heard that shit when I was a kid. I was like, how the fuck do you write? What do you even say? And then like, it took me a solid like 12 years to deconstruct that. It was like there was just so much in it, and it was just so much meat, so much fruit. And I think being between that and then seeing Eminem and the technicality, it was like I could relate to a lot of the emotional factors of what M was saying, but I could relate to the life of Jay. And then there was like a polymerization of the two. Yeah. And then you hear Renegade, and it's like, oh, my nigga, this is crazy. Like, so what's the middle ground? And that's what I was always searching for. Like, Jay-Z, like, man, that nigga's skill is crazy.
No, for real. And then the fact he don't be writing that shit.
Like, your brain is able to just pocket these things just so precisely. That's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's still elements of that I'm learning.
Got to. Shit, as long as you're a student, bro.
Yeah, always. Always gotta be a student. It's you can and even being ahead of the game sometimes, like, you gotta be a student. Like, I had to study, like, it's crazy because now niggas seen the lo-fi wave. Like, I was making anime lo-fi shit back in 2010, 2011, 2012. So niggas coming up on that now, it's like, this was already here. I had to study Newz Best. I had to study Fat John. I had to study Mimi. I had to study, like, you know, Yotaro and Ichiro and all these Japanese producers, even a lot of the producers out, like, shout out Flying Lotus, like, Mind Design, like, there was just so many different producers, Recipe J Dilla, you know, who had set, like, the foundation for these things. So it's like, as I studied and learned it, it was like, oh shit, you could do this with it. Oh shit, you could do this with it. Like, that's crazy. I remember the first time I started making beats with samples. That's a different vibe than just like creating. Because my first beats, if you go listen to them old joints from like 2007, 2009, 2012, like I constructed those from scratch. I was thinking of melodies and just put them joints there.
Yeah.
But then chopping up samples and making songs, it's just there's a different flavor in that joint, bro.
Yeah, no question.
Sample is fire.
So when you started producing beats before you started actually making music, as far as rapping and all that.
Yeah, I feel like that almost naturally comes first. I feel like if you, because I know sometimes people hop on a joint and they rap and it is really good, but I feel like that the musical aspect of it comes with production first. Like if you sit down and you've made a beat, you can figure out how to rap. You can figure out how to sing.
Yeah.
You know?
Cause you already constructing that joint.
Boom. So it just fits in there, and it's just like a wave, bro. Like I honestly, like, I love beats, bro.
Yeah.
I sit back and I make beats all day.
Kanye one of my favorite artists off that, because he can construct words, but them productions is crazy, bro. Them productions is crazy.
Like I sit back sometimes. What was I listening to? I was listening to I saw a little video on Twitter the other day. It was about how the oldest beat was made, and it's so interesting because like those are two very important elements. If you find a little pocket you like, you slow it down and you tune that joint down a couple notches. That should create a whole different song, and that's what they did. And I was listening to it and how he chopped it up. I was like, man, this shit is fire. And he made that shit like 20 minutes before flight. Right, I know. Kanye was destined to do that shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's different levels of genius.
He was destined to do that shit. Kanye is in my top 3 like influences.
No question.
Yeah.
As far as the metal goes, what pushed you into the metal?
When I was a kid, I got introduced to like it was like different eras. So the first era was like I introduced to POD and like who was this other band? It was first was POD, and then when it came from POD, then when I got into like the first part of high school, then it was Disturbed, and I didn't really fuck with Disturbed. And then one of my homies put me on to As I Lay Dying, and I was like, what is this? And then I went to a show. It was an Impending Doom. These are all like yeah. And then from there, it was like it went to like more progressive metal stuff, because it was like I love the breakdowns, I love the sound, and I love the vocal inflections and certain things, but I needed something that was a little bit more challenging to my brain. And then boom, then I would find like Tesseract and the Contortionist, and it's like in between the Buried in Me and shit, and it's like oh this is crazy. So you could and then like I started trying it out, like I was trying out like different vocal shits, and it made it easy. Yeah, there's this one video, I only watched a little bit of it, but back in the times when niggas was really into the hardcore shit, there's a band called Under Oath, and it's this woman, I forgot what her name was, but it's really important to the scene actually. She taught a lot of the vocalists that come out that do that shit.
Yeah.
And she had a series called The Zen of Screaming, and it was like she would just teach how to do it. And how I taught myself was by finding little pockets. There's little pockets in your vocal cords. It's like a bus. You know what I'm saying? Like you put something through it and it filters it out.
Yeah.
So like I can and just like I don't have to project too much because I already found that pocket. I feel like it's similar with like when you listen to like Layla Hathaway and you know Beyonce, or even like you know a lot of other artists that sing, not necessarily scream. They find that channel and they
project that shit beautifully. Yeah.
So that's me. I've just been trying to learn my vocal cords.
Okay.
That's how I came about like really getting into it. Shout out to Chariot, because they're probably my favorite band of all time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them and Death.
You said Them and Death?
Yeah. It's an all black metal band named Death. Look them up. They're fucking incredible. Oh, and some more history. There was a black man that had I'll say a black person because I don't really know how they identify at the time.
Right.
But they were the ones that had actually originated that. There's an old ass video, I think, for 30s, 40s. And this dude was playing, and he's like, ah, while he's playing on like a drum, and it's like jazz music. Shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
damn.
we already been in there.
We invented everything, bro.
Facts. It's facts. Here, at least.
Alright, so what's some projects you got out right now?
Like currently?
Yeah.
Damn, I have a lot.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them people what to tap into. All right, so you got, and it's different lanes too. So,
all right,
so those who want to listen to some hip hop, those who want maybe take it to the metal lane. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so boom, I got something for you. I go down. So, like this my Bandcamp. Like, you know, I know I might just get a clip, but I got a lot of shit on here. Got some. This is all my singles and all my stuff. So here, mixtapes and some old shit. If you want spoken word. That's my first tape, which is Devil and His Mistresses. I produced that joint. If you want something that's like more like jazz, hip hop kind of like beats, that's the Aerospace Museum joint. If you want instrumentals only, Empty Colors and Art of Problem Solving Volume 1, you got that joint. If you want like some more freestyles, like just writtens over, yeah, I got a Drake freestyle over the Duppy joint. I got one over Swiss Beats, the Newz joint. I got one over the Kendrick joint. I got one over the J Electronica joint. I got another one over the Drake joint. If you want like a trap tape, this joint called Devil Man. There's like 7 tracks there, like really heavy, like trap, more like that. If you want something that sounds a little bit quieter, a little bit more instrumental, you can get into All Dreams Land. If you want something lo-fi, any of the anime cover tapes, you know, super lo-fi. If you want something that's more like trap based, like even like J. Cole-ish type, you'll get you get that out of Nocturne, and you get that out of Analogs, but the Analogs a little bit more mainstream oriented. If you want something significantly more experimental, that is more in the hardcore range and grungy, you can get the Oscillation joint, which is tight. And the last latest joints for real, like if you want something that's like more Mac Miller type, that's Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
So
got the whole spectrum for real.
Yeah, after after the next tape, which is like really, really, it's more like quiet shit. It's like quiet, like real soulful, like samples type shit. Like after that, I'm trying to work on some like singing Michael Jackson type shit. So I'm really trying to take this joint as far as possible. I'm working on like 3 different things right now.
That's alright, bro.
Best.
So with that, what do you want to see with the music? Like, where do you want to see it go? What's your, not end goal, but what's a strong goal you reaching for?
Musically?
Yeah.
Access.
Oh, of course.
I feel like that's it. It really, because if you have access, then you can do anything else. It's just a favor or money.
Facts.
You know, or you know what I'm saying. So, just being able to have access to certain things, I think that's really what I want. Cause I got dreams, I got ideas.
Yeah.
That obviously expand far outside of music, but specifically within music, like, you know, it'd be nice. Like, shout out Kanye. Trying to get a Kanye Aerospace album.
We already put it's
I'm
in
putting
the
that energy, man. I really want that. Like, over anything, I really want that, cause I don't think I've ever related to a single artist. Just to, man, that is just so crazy. Just thinking, like Kanye is just so nuts, in like the best way. And I wish somebody, like, people were able to step back sometimes. And, like,
everybody can't understand the genius though. Like you got that many great thoughts running through your mind. Sometimes you might not be able to express it the way everybody think they want to hear it. You feel me?
But everybody got their own filter for your shit too. So,
where your name come from?
So when I left Southeast and a little bit of time I stayed over in Atlanta, I live right by NASA Goddard.
Okay.
I live across the street right on Good Luck Road.
Yeah.
Alright. Both my mom and my stepmom were both in medicine, and I wanted to be an astronaut as well as a doctor. So, you know, I've always been super into the science shit. I was like, aerospace. I get my Chinese food from aerospace center right over here. I go down to the Giant right over at the corner, and I go to the aerospace center over here. I like NASA is right there. I get to see that joint. And like over time, it just felt more comfortable. Because that's always where I always felt. And not necessarily in the sense of like, oh yeah, I'm above, but just more so like my field of vision just always felt a little bit wider.
Nah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So being from the DMV, and you moved around from DC to PG to Baltimore. So how did that, did you listen to GoGo?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so.
My mom tried to keep me out of it, but you know. Yeah.
So how that go? Like, cause, you know, GoGo is a kind of different scene from metal.
And it's not.
I don't think so. Cause
it's not at all.
Live instrumentation.
It's the same shit.
Okay. All right,
it's the
break
same,
it down, bro.
Bro, so you got funk in GoGo. You got rock in GoGo. You got hip hop in GoGo. 3 in the morning, the pancake house. He's screaming.
Yeah.
There's loud, live instrumentation behind this.
Fact.
And what happens when you go up in there? What happened? Shout out to Toga.
Yeah.
Shout out to that's what you doing. You shouting out your hood. You shouting out your set. And then what happens? Niggas get aggressive. And what do? They fight. What happens in the mosh pit? It's the same exact energy. It's just there's this weird.
The crowds are different.
And the thing about it is like, as much as I want to say that there's differences, I just truly believe that because due to colonialism and a lot of other things and us being separated from our history, we naturally just found a way to reinterpret what we already knew, even though we were separated from it. So it's like, oh, metal is that white shit. That's that devil worship and shit. That's that we'll stay away from that. Yeah. Okay, so what happened? You got my man Chuck Brown, and what ends up happening? You create a different genre that has the same exact energy, but has the soul element of it that metal doesn't necessarily have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like my mom would be like, yo, you can't go over to this spot why can't I go? I've played drums for a couple go-go bands, but I also understand what energy was.
Yeah.
I've almost got shy go-go's. It is what it is.
Shit happens.
But those things happen because they try to attribute it to the music the same way they always try to blame it, but it's not the music. It's you have people from two different, not even parts of the city, 2 different blocks on the same road. It's not fucking with
right here, your neighborhood
right here, your house right here, your house right here. I bump into you randomly. If you not with your niggas, we gonna get it on.
Niggas rode the school bus together.
Come on, bruh. So like, what do you think is gonna happen if we get to a collective area where there's no supervision and you got high intensity energy going on? You gonna pop off. It's naturally gonna happen. Oh, this nigga bumped into me. Nigga, what the? It's a natural thing to happen.
Facts.
Niggas don't. Come on, bro.
Yeah, nah, for real.
They try to do whatever they can to dehumanize us, bro.
Always. That be the goal, bro.
Facts. But yeah, go love. I didn't get necessarily into the slow bounce area when niggas was getting into CCB, TCB. Yeah. I would always hear it on the radio. 93.9, 95.5.
9 p.m. crank.
Come on, bro. And it was like all the time, so I was always hearing the go-go in those elements. But then by the time that it was going into the slow bounce area, that's when I started moving around a lot.
Right.
So I left the city, and then when I came back to the city, it was a whole different shit. Then I left the city again, went to LA, in 2003, back and forth. Then I came back. It was a whole different thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I missed a couple areas of the city just from not necessarily
moving
being in
around.
it. Mm-hmm.
I got you. Let's talk about your merch, bro. Okay,
so I have this concept called "I Will Not Die Today," right? Because I deal with depression, and just to make it real quick, depression is a spectrum. Some people deal with suicidal ideation, which is like me. Other people don't, but they reach very, very heavy lows. So for everybody that deals with it, and just not even that, but in general, even for us as black people, whether it's a contention between us on our personal man, where it's a beef, or it's with the feds, or it's with the system, the whole concept of "I will not die," today it creates a comedic aspect, but it also just lets you know, like, hey, this ain't the day.
Right.
And every day is this ain't the day. This ain't the day. This ain't the day.
Yeah.
And the comma today lets us know that it's a continuation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It will always be a continuation.
Yeah,
what happens? I don't feel like doing this today. I do it tomorrow. All right, I do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, I do it tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's the concept. Until you get to the point where you expire by natural causes.
It gotta be done.
Yeah. So the merch that I have right now, I'm gonna show you the shirts first. They come in white and black.
Yeah.
Shirts sturdy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for people that this for me and my meaning personally is different, but for those of you that do believe in Christianity, I do need you to understand that the inverted cross is the St. Peter's cross. Because St. Peter himself had made a decision to not be crucified the same way that Jesus Christ was, because he didn't feel as if he was worthy. So whereas I necessarily don't believe in the law of Christianity, for those that do, it's all love to you too. This flowers designed by my boy Tiandre from my album Sorry to Bother You.
Okay.
Got the name on the back, Aerospace cross.
Okay.
And this will come with some special patches. You know, and this one right here is 120. Have sizes from small to extra large tall. If you need anything custom, could potentially do that for you. Just let me know. Yeah, merch will be releasing soon. Yeah, because once I get the rest of the orders of the shirts, I'm doing a campaign where I'm giving out a shirt, like 500 shirts to like people in the city.
Yeah,
like,
that's alright.
That shit is necessary, especially like because I won't die today. It might actually prevent some altercations from occurring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could help lift people up. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Everybody, make sure y'all tap in.
Appreciate y'all.
Where you get your style from, bro?
A range of stuff actually. There's this band called Bring Me the Horizon. Vocalist Oli Sykes. Okay. Sick as shit. And my homeboy Rico, he got the craziest style. Like, shout out my nigga Rico, bro. Your style's crazy. And I used to collect magazines, like W magazines specifically. I used to just go through all the fashion, and I started before I did all the music. I was sketching, I was drawing. Yeah. So like from there, it just kind of like evolved over time. Okay. And became into like, oh, I would like to do this. Oh, this would be kind of cool. So now that I have certain access to things, I'm trying to just piece all that together, see what I come up with.
Nah, that's alright, bro.
Yeah. I love fashion. So
you fuck with the anime too?
Yeah, 100%.
Name some. My man told me you can't ask for somebody's favorite anime. So, but name some top joints that you could tune into anytime.
Shout out to your mans, cause he know, cause it's difficult.
Yeah.
Outlaw Star is my go-to.
Okay.
I watch that over and over and over. I think that's the only anime that I've watched more than once. Like I can pop that in right now and just go watch the whole series, because it's so much nostalgia, so much love. But I say top for me. I think it's a mix between anime and manga. For sure, Oyasumi Pum Pum. It's amazing. Shout out Asano Inio. They're an incredible artist. From there, I say like Sailor Moon for sure. Yeah. Outlaw Star. I don't know. The last two are kind of a mix because they fluctuate. Because there's so many really good anime. Yeah. Like Aoi Bungaku is, Flowers of Evil is sick. Yeah, I don't know. Those are the main three. I know. I lost all for sure.
I got you, bro.
And for sure, the GOAT. The craziest part is because I never really mention it because it's already implied. But for people that are like new to my music, like they wouldn't necessarily be implied. But it's this anime and this light novel named Bakemonogatari. Like y'all need to check that out. That's the greatest shit of like.
That's the GOAT right there.
That shit is crazy.